topic today is what is life, and actually what is the fulfilled life that we have. And it all talks about the mysteries of life, and that is, who am I, what am I, where did I come from, and where am I going? So all this has to do with some of the mysteries of the universe of infinite intelligence. All of the mystery schools have taught that particular questions. And when we come to understand infinite intelligence, that we are part of that oneness, then we know what the answer is. It's, who am I? And I am nobody because I'm everybody. And what am I? I am nothing because I'm everything. And where did I come from and where am I going? I don't know where I came from, and I don't know where I'm going because I am everywhere. So when we look at those answers, it's, we're living in the now. And that is our purpose. Our life purpose is for fulfillment. And fulfillment has to do, we have to be happy. We have to follow nature's physical and natural laws to make our own happiness. Okay, so I'm going to go back into some of the Greek philosophers. The Greek philosopher Socrates emphasized virtue, and Epicurus emphasized pleasure, but it was another Greek thinker, Aristotle, who viewed the good life in a more contemporary way. And according to Aristotle, what we want to do is to be happy. Okay? Just like principle number 7 states. You have to look at what Aristotle was. He was the founder of metaphysics. He wrote the first thesis on that. But he was also a scientist and a philosopher. As a scientist, he studied botany, and he actually taught Alexander the Great. So when Alexander went out to conquer the known world, he would send out biological specimens back to Aristotle. And then those would be used for medicines. So the great metaphysician, Aristotle, gives us this theory of fulfillment, that everybody needs to be happy. And we value many things because they are a means to other things. For instance, we value money because it enables us to get the things we want. We value leisure because it gives us time to pursue our interests. But happiness is something we value not as a means to some other end, but for its own sake. It has an instinctive value rather than an instrumental value. So for Aristotle, the good life is the happy life. But we have to think about, what does that mean? Today, many people automatically think as happiness in a subjective terms. To them, a person is happy if they are enjoying a positive state of mind. And their life is happy for them if this is true for them most of the time. Sometimes we get into a comfort zone where we believe we are happy and we stay in that zone. The purpose of life is to fulfill it. So anyway, there is a problem with the type of thinking that we are enjoying a positive state of mind all the time. Imagine a sadist who spends most of the time gratifying cruel desires. Okay? He's in a happy state of mind. Or imagine a pot-smoking, beer-guzzling couch potato who does nothing but sit around and watch old TV shows and play video games. And these people have plenty of pleasurable subjective experiences. But should we really describe them as living well? They're happy, but they're not living well. And Aristotle would certainly say no. He agrees with Socrates that the good life is one to be a morally good person, and agrees with Epicurus that a happy life will involve many pleasurable events. But we can't really say that living the good life is something if you are miserable and constantly suffering, like the sadist or the couch potato. I've been a couch potato before. Okay? I gotta admit this, you know, until I got my spiritual awakening. So it's, all right? You have to look at how we fulfill our lives. So what we have to look at are an objectivist rather than subjectivist view. And it's not, it doesn't matter how good a person feels inside. It's important that certain objective conditions be met. And Aristotle recognized 7 objective conditions or principles. The first one would be virtue. And we all must be virtuous people. Now, I looked on the internet and said, okay, what does it mean to be virtuous? And so there's one list with 100 virtues. There's another list. The Catholic Church would say there's 7 virtues that you must follow. But I came up with 13, and they came from Benjamin Franklin, one of our founding fathers. So, of the virtues we should be doing is temperance. And that would be balance and moderation in all things. Okay? We can't go to a fanatic state of mind, and we can't be totally shut down. We have a life purpose to express ourselves. The second thing is silence. Speak not what may benefit others or yourself, and avoid trifling conversations. Okay, and the law of silence is one of my favorite laws as far as the natural laws. It's one of those that you need to meditate, if you want to call it, to find yourself within and express yourself without. There is a Sufi teaching, and Sufi is a religious sect of the Islam religion, and they call it the 4 gates, and it works with the law of silence. And the first gate is when you speak, is it true? Okay? Don't turn on the TV. News. Right, just saying. Okay, so that's the first gate. Is it true? The second one, is it kind? Third one, is it necessary? And the fourth one, does it actually improve upon the silence? or are you just blowing out hot air? Okay? So when we look at that, I got an example with my wife in the back about the 4 gates. And one would be, she comes out of the closet and with, you know, a dress on, and she says, should I wear this? What do you think of this? And then if I was truly following the 4 gates, I would say that one is better. But if I wasn't, I would say, well, that one makes you look fat. You know? Whoops. You know, it might be true, but it's not kind. So, just saying. So, law of silence, follow that. So, another virtue from Benjamin Franklin is order. So, let all your things have their place. And let each part of your business have its time. So everybody has a lot of things on their plate, and we have to put them in a particular order. Okay? Not everything is work. This 4th virtue of Benjamin Franklin's is resolution. And we resolve to perform what you ought to do. Perform without fail what you resolve. So that's what I call more or less a passion within you. If you have that resolution, then you should see it come to fruition. And the 5th one is frugality. Make no expense but to do good to you, to others or yourself, and it is waste nothing. Okay? We live in a society where we go around in a round way to get to the actual point of what we want to do. So don't waste your time, don't waste your energy, just do it. The 6th virtue is industry, is what Benjamin Franklin calls it. Lose no time. Be always employed in something useful. Cut off all unnecessary actions. So again, it has to do with that frugality. Waste nothing, especially time. 7th virtue is sincerity. Use no hurtful deceit. Think innocently and justly, and if you speak, speak accordingly. But sincerity, don't go about your business hurting other people. It will come back to bite you, karmically speaking. The 8th virtue of Benjamin Franklin's is justice. Wrong none by doing injuries or omitting the benefits that are you duty. Derelict of duty by omission. Okay, so we have to look at this. There's a lot of white lies that are going out there, okay, where you're actually hiding some of that truth. So we have to look at what we omit. Another way to put it is, you know, no news is good news, right? So when you look at it, that philosophy, but in the long run, it will come back to bite you. The 9th virtue of Ben Franklin's is moderation. Avoid extremes. Forbear resenting injuries so much you think they deserve. So avoid the extremes. He's put it a couple ways that way. The 10th one is cleanliness. Tolerate no uncleanliness in body, clothes, or habitation. So I got a little work to do, I guess, on the habitation. Okay. 11th one is tranquility. Do not be disturbed at trifles or accidents, common or unavoidable. So there's a lot of things can upset the apple cart, and we can't let them poke holes in our auras, so as we would say. We have to be tranquil about everything and don't rush to judgment. The 12th one is chastity, and that is rarely use indulgence but for health or offspring, never to dullness, weakness, or the injury of your own or another's peace or reputation. So, if you think good thoughts, they will produce good deeds and good actions. And the 13th one is humility, right? We need to be humble. And what Benjamin Franklin states actually here is, imitate Jesus and Socrates. Okay, getting back to Aristotle and his 7 principles. The first one was virtue. Second one is health. We should all enjoy good health and a reasonably long life. Okay? That's part of our healing prayer. And I must do my part. The third principle of Aristotle is prosperity. We should be comfortably off, and for Aristotle that meant affluent enough so we don't need to work for a living doing something that you would not freely choose to do. Okay? So again, if we work and be comfortably off, it should be something we enjoy doing. Okay? So follow your passion. That's part of that industry of Benjamin Franklin's. Okay, the 4th principle is friendship, and we all must have good friends. And human beings are innately social, so the good life can't be that of a hermit or a recluse. Okay? And it's sad about this COVID times because a lot of people are becoming that. But we have a lot more technology than what Aristotle did at the time. We have, video cameras, or video phones. You just pick up the phone, text, whatever you need to do. Don't become a hermit or a recluse. All right, the 5th one is respect. Are you respecting me? All right. So, I'm just kidding. So we should all have respect for others. Aristotle doesn't think that fame or glory is necessary because that can lead you astray. But ideally, a person's qualities and achievements will be recognized by others. And with that, we should always respect others. And the 6th one is luck. We all need good luck. That's an example of Aristotle's common sense. Any life can be rendered unhappy by a tragic loss or misfortune. But when we look at luck in our lives, we have to look at synchronicity. Everything in life is synchronicity. We are here at this exact time because that is where we're supposed to be. So keep that luck within your hearts. And I have a story that somebody, and I've met this person, her good luck and fortune was she picked up a blowing away lotto ticket, and it was a $3 million like winner. So, okay, so that's synchronicity. It's, you know, the universe helping you, but everybody needs luck. And the last one of his principles is engagement. And we must exercise, you know, our human abilities and capabilities to actually engage people. That's why the couch potato is not actually living well, even though he will report that he's content and happy. But in the whole scheme of things, he isn't. So what separates us from other animals, according to Aristotle, is that we have reason. So the good life is one who cultivates and exercises the rational faculties in engaging in a scientific inquiry, philosophical discussion, and artistic creation. So we should all be this today. And if he were here today, we'd add technological innovations with that. But when he's talking about this scientific inquiry, this is a philosophical discussion. That's what spiritualism is all about. The science, the philosophy, and the religion of spiritualism. It imparts us in all our daily lives. We should recognize that. So, at the end of that, we would say if you can check all those 7 boxes by Aristotle, then you would have a fulfilled life. But we need to actually work at looking at what our fulfilled life is. Now the Greeks also had a saying, call no one happy until he's dead. Okay? There's a little bit of wisdom in that, and we might want to even, you know, amend that to call one, or call no man happy until he's long dead. So, because we can see people, because we idolize a lot of people as to heroes and things like that, and they can appear to live a fine life. They can check all the boxes: virtue, prosperity, friendship, respect, meaning, etc. But when they are gone, something else might be revealed about their lives. And we look at TV personalities who were admired in their lifetime, but when they were dead, they were exposed as a sexual predator. Okay? So we have to look at that. So cases like that brings out the advantage of being an objectivist rather than the subjectivist notion of what it means to live well. While the TV personality might have enjoyed his life, surely we would not say that he had a fulfilled good life. A truly good life is one that is both enviable and admirable in most of the ways outlined above. Some of the happiest people I know have virtually nothing, but they're happy with their own spirituality and what their passion for life is. So what we need to do is live life fully and be happy. But most of all, we have to have joy and happiness in our lives. If we don't have joy, that is what drives us, joy and happiness. And we have to change our outlook from an a negative perspective into a positive perspective. Okay, there's too much negativity in this world that we're exposed